Some deer droppings. They're, maybe from yesterday. I'm not going to taste them for you. Apparently they should be tasting pretty sweet. This is your Scotch thistle, or just normal thistle. So we can take all the leaves off this. You scrape all the thorns off it, and you can chew on the main trunk itself. Chewing on it will release all your water and stuff and moisture, and it'll give you a pretty good drink. It tastes a bit like celery.
Oops.
I just scrape with the back end, I see, not ripping it all up.
I'll try and get them thorns off. My rigger's glove's not very good.
Yeah, just use the back of your knife. That's why we put a nice sharp spine on it for scraping.
Little tiny spines on there, look at them.
Yeah, they're good for you.
Yeah, you reckon? I feel like celery, really. I don't like celery either, but there's moisture in it.
So Ben and John are doing a bit more navigation here. They set up their sticks for a shadow stick method. So we've got the your main stick here. It's got a sharp point on it, so that should give you a defined shadow down this end here. So where the shadow first touches the ground, you put in this first stake at the end of the shadow here, and we'll wait maybe about 10 minutes, then we'll put a second stick in. That'll give us an approximate east-west line. So this first stake we'll put in is the western stake. The next one will be the eastern stake. So there's 2 points in there. You have your western point and your eastern point.
really happening, is it?
So we've got a east-west line, but when you set these up, you're not going to get a perfect straight line. So the zenith, or what you want to call the line, it's called a zenith. Oh, sorry, meridian. So as the shadow passes you, it'll give you a round curve. So it'll arc the actual line. So it'll still give you, between those 2 points is still west and east.
Roughly.
Yeah, the longer you leave it, the more accurate it'll be. So you'd have to get a point at first light and last light. It'll give you almost exact what you'd need. So, but at the moment, this is your west and east, and it's plenty to navigate off. So you can also use things like this is just a bit of piece of paper as your rose compass. And lay this out, and this way it'll give you all your cardinal points as well. Get a piece of grass to point with. You're taking up a whole grid square there with your finger. There we go.
That's better.
So come see where your shadow is?
Yep.
Around there, that's where the dam is.
Yep.
And so where we are now,
Back.
keep coming back. Yep, up in there. So we want to head approximately east, northeast.
Yep.
Now they're learning to navigate with hand angles. So that's my fist is 150 mils from knuckle to knuckle, or sorry, outside to outside, which is approximately 4 degrees, roughly.
So knuckle is 4 degrees.
So at the moment they want to come 80 degrees to find from this location. So we're going to try and hit a dam. So they've got east and west. So off over to his right shoulder is pretty much 90 degrees. So we're taking off 2 fists. So to get approximately 80 degrees, and we'll be heading on that bearing. So you got your sticks. Yep. So you picked a tree or rock, whatever you want to head to. So yeah, just go. You've gone from that little tree where you're at. So you can see the gum with the little branch pointing out to the left.
Yep.
There's a little iron bark on the left hand side of it. There's roughly that gum. Sorry, the little iron bark that it came from. So use your tall stick, your long one for that. So doing this, he keeps a somewhat accurate direction or bearing. So if he wants to now, he can go for a bit of a walk around the other side of that lantana to check things out, and then he can come back and his stick will still be there and he'll still have the direction of travel. Yeah, both of them have got to redo the cardinal points again. So they've got a new patch of sun. So you can just redo the shadow stick. Now while you're navigating, you can do this as many times as you'd like, or as you need to. See, terrain like this, you can only go so far, and then if you start to lose your way or start to lose your confidence, your own navigational ability, you can reset your sticks. Well, eventually made it through to the top side of the dam through some extremely thick lantana.
Didn't have any sticks before.
Yeah, nice and clean. So, John's going to light a fire so we can get a brew on, and Ben's going to dig a shell scrape. Ben's going to dig a shell scrape, so it's a start of a fighting pit. So a shell scrape you can sleep in, at least it'll give you a body below the surface. So even in summertime, it'll drop it by a couple degrees, and it gives you a nice cool sleeping area. Winter time, you still cover yourself with vegetation and a little bit of warmth at least. You can use it as a fire pit first to warm it up for during winter. Shell scrape itself is at least one ET wide, at least 4 long, or long enough to get your body in there, and half a ET deep.
Sometimes I might wonder if they're overrated, but they are good. I mean, you get them wet, they live forever.
Well, your lighter would run out before that one would.
Yeah. So, you know, you look at it like that, they are alright, but you use a lot of them. I guess if you're experienced.
I think it's getting the technique down.
Yeah.
Spending a bit of time first and not using green grass there.
Oh, green?
So you can get your knife and you can make a bit of tinder or shave one of those sticks down, and that'd make some small enough kindling for you to catch on. Tell us about the 5 Ps there, John.
Poor preparation creates a poor fire like this one.
Correct. Right preparation prevents piss poor performance.
That's the one. You know what's lined up for a
I used to get paid to do this. He's doing it for the love of it. Naughty John. If you use stuff, put it away. Oh, we're just going through night routine. So the fire's lit, houses are built, gathering firewood, and then we'll get on to supper before it gets dark. It's 6:10 and it's a bit chilly already. It is now 8 o'clock at night. 1 degree. My camp's all packed up. And then going through, try and sanitize the area, just pick up the leaves and the grass and just make it look like as though you're never there. Even though I did something a little bit naughty. Got a couple broken branches. Why things are seen. Now, as a hunter or a tracker, yeah, you're looking for things that are out of the ordinary, and it's for a lot of people out there. It's something that you already know. This is probably maybe just putting words and terms to, yeah, that sort of knowledge. So as you can see at the moment, yeah, Ben's they're moving around, and just behind the bushes, you can see through. And the camera works. You can see movement, so right in the center of the screen there. You can see movement through the bush. But generally, it's an understanding of these reasons is why things are seen in the field will not only help you remain undetected, but you can also use the same to detect your quarry or whatever it is that you're hunting. So the things that mainly stand out are shape, silhouette, surface, shadow, spacing, and movement. So he's got a nice green there, just blending in. It's cotton, so even under UV light, or what if you're hunting deer, they see in the UV spectrum, it'll come out as neutral or a flat and blend straight into the foliage. Whereas if you use your nylons or anything like that, you'll basically turn yourself into a giant glow beacon. So you can see the shape. So everything about John's hat and just the shape of his body, just it says I'm a person. Animals know what our shape is and know to fear us. So soon we'll go on to how to break up your shape and make it a bit easier for you to hide, or if you're out hunting. Just while I'm waiting for Dad's army back there, shadow. So I'm standing in the shade behind some lantana here, and you can still see a defined outline. You've got head, shoulders, I'll say knees and toes, but yeah, you can see me pack. So definite outline. So if you're going to use the shadows to hide in, you really have to push yourself deeper under areas like this, just so you're inside this shadow area itself. Okay, I know these little movies are all over the place, but just trying to film what I can where I can. At the moment, this is about movement and what not to do. So as you can see, he's silhouetting himself. As he's moving. So if you're going to move an open terrain like this, come down to approximately this area here, about 1/3 below the skyline. So this we have to use the terrain itself. You can follow this in, move around the back side of the re-entrant. You'll be working a little bit further, but you won't be doing this. This makes you observed very easily. So if you need to move further up that way, up past the trees up there, satellite this bush here, so that way you can remain less detectable, and then you can move back up through that re-entrant up to the top.
I used to love this shit, Dad.
So now we're going to apply cam cream. So the whole idea about this is to see without being seen. So camouflage cream itself, you don't put it on and you magically vanish into the bush or anything. It's there to help take definition out of your face, take shine off any part of your skin. As you can see around my neck here is shining. So you want to put on the backs of your hands, all over your face, neck, ears, anywhere you can see skin. If not, wear gloves if you don't want to put it everywhere. So real basic, just smear it around. You don't want to go putting too much, because otherwise it'll just turn into a big dark blob. So just enough to break up any shine. Now putting it on your face, you generally start with a base coat. So if you go say brown, you can put brown, just a real thin layer everywhere first. Now if you've got a really cool haircut like me, you can do the top of your head as well. Yeah, should a bit better take sweat and everything off first. Now there is another trick to this. You do the opposite to shadows. So because you're going to have a shadow in your low area, right inside here, this is where you're going to put light cream. You want to lighten that up, and on the tips of your nose, around your forehead, anywhere that's taken all this sun and creating shine, you want to darken that up. Get it right in there. Now we've got our foundation on. Women are going to love this. Clogs all your skin, all your pores. It's absolutely brilliant. So now we've got 2 more colours. So we can either darken around the high spots and lighten the low, or we just come through and I just want to break up the outline itself. So you don't want straight lines. And we'll throw a bit of light in there as well. Both hands. Good simple cam.
I even did my eyeshadow as well. I've never done that in my life before.
So, a bit too much dark.
Is it? I'm working off the old Bowhunters camo and it's 20 years old. See, I don't hunt much. Bit dark, eh?
So you want to make your cam to suit the area you're in. So there's a lot of grass here. If you're going to be hiding in the grass, you want to have it light. If you're going in the dark, that's where you want to have it dark. But then moving into lighter areas, sun changes, you sort of need to make it suit a bit of everywhere.
Alright.
Okay, so this is my ghillie suit. At the moment, against this vegetation, it just sticks out like a third nut in the greyhound. So we want to change this up. So when you start working in different areas, you need to apply the vegetation that comes from the local vicinity. So I'm going to cut some grass and I'll add it to my ghillie.
Make me artillery, give me that.
What, teeth?
Yeah, you're looking like a nice frog.
They're all big, mushy.
And you do all the backs of your hands, behind your ears, behind your neck. Cover your wedding ring. Anything's going to create shine.
Taking that off.
So I've sewn a lot of these paracord with little toggles on them. So these are for putting in natural vegetation. It bulks up your ghillie and then breaking your overall outline of your head and neck, going down over your shoulders. So it takes away from it breaks up your silhouette and that natural shape that animals see as a threat. So this is the bottom side or the inside of the ghillie suit. So nice big pockets, built-in pockets. And I've got crawl pads, zips to put spent cartridges or lollies if you want. And now the top side. The only things you can see at the moment are your arms. I leave these free most of the time for bow hunting, so it's less likely of the string catching hold and throwing your shot. And even if you're sitting in the hide, you're generally either sitting crouched over, or if you're laying down, your arms are underneath you anyway, so it's still not seen. We've got hand covers, natural vegetation. So you can thin this up still if you're ready to take your shot. So just before, it's something you also want to practice shooting in as well if you're bow hunting. So next outing we'll go into building and or constructing a hide. So there's a lot of considerations in that in itself, especially when it comes time to taking your shot.
That is cool.
So other considerations with your ghillie suit is taking the vegetation from your area. Animals will notice if there's a large difference in, say, all this, and there's now been cut out. Take it from far behind the hide, and if you need to, you bring it in with you. If it's going to rain or a lot of dew while you're out, you have to think about using lighter or glossier sort of material, because as you get wet you'll darken up and then again you'll stand out. So at the moment I'm filming through some infrared goggles. You can see the ghillie suit here, you can bit of the sleeve, but the rest of the ghillie is pretty much undetectable. Things like pack, got some nice shiny material on the side of it, all this sort of starts standing out. So we need 100% natural vegetation or material. So you got there's another pack there. What's that about your undies?
Oh, the leafy suit. The leafy suit, you know, in summer you can strip down the undies and wear a leafy suit compared to this one when you're bow hunting. So I don't know that I like it as much. But I am the apprentice bushman and like the wildy coyote when I hunt. So anything will work.
So at night time the infrared will work much better. It'll make your anything cotton or your natural fibres, it'll just blend straight in, and anything unnatural like your polyester, it just shines like a beacon. Nice shine on the side, on your sleeve, right sleeve. There we go. This is what 80s Rambo should look like. I'm back home again. So I've got the infrared binoculars out, so just so you can see the difference between this camouflage. So first one, we've got the ghillie suit covered in natural material. We have this brand that is 60% polyester, and this Japara here, which is 100% polyester. It's lined up there. So got the first one, the ghillie. You can see the cotton material going into the grass. Oh, there's a clear definition between those two anyway. I'll just turn on the IR light itself. You can see this one has just got points in it which just glow. The polyester, that just makes it stand out. The grass itself, that blends right in still, but the IR, you can see it's reflecting off the shiny surface from the grass, and you can see the iron. But overall, you'll want 100% natural material.